Let's quickly talk about business lines of credit that pull Experian. So if you're interested in this review, here's the list I want you to pay attention to. Number 10, American Heritage. Our score, 8/10. So when you think about American Heritage, you're talking about lines of credit that actually revolve around $50,000 and can go all the way to $100,000. Obviously, American Heritage is a credit union, so you can actually qualify if you are a member. Okay, you gotta be a personal member, but also a business member. But this business line of credit pulls Experian, and the FICO score around American Heritage, they will start you at 575 and go all the way to 600. In some cases, they will accept you if you are 625. So overall, what we love about American Heritage is that you can qualify real fast. I want you to look on the screen right now. This is actually how you can join. So it is a national credit union. So it doesn't matter your geography, doesn't matter your biology or your profession. You can still qualify. You can see on the screen here, you can actually just, you just have to make a donation and you are good to go. So overall, we are talking about, a very flexible line of credit for American Heritage, $100,000. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here to have a quick convo with you about business lines of credit that pull Experian. Number 9, we have here M&T Bank. Our score, 8.6/10. So when you think about M&T Bank, you actually have a couple of business lines of credit. They actually will approve you around 600. And so they have 600 FICO. So they have the business access line of credit where you are actually approved from $5,000 all the way to $950,000. And they have the flex line of credit, which is actually above $950,000. Those two lines of credit are unsecured, so not a problem. If you do not have collateral, they will basically take care of you, not a problem. Okay. And one thing I want to say is that we love the fact that M&T Bank is really fast in approving you. Now the only problem is that M&T Bank is geo restricted, so they're not available nationally. So you got to really sort of take that into account. But if you are in the geography where they actually where they are present, M&T Bank is a great bank to work with. So if you wanna really explore more, just give them a call. They are available at 1-800-724-6070. So great bank, fantastic bank. Number 8, we have Capital One. Our score, 8.8/10. So if you're looking for a business line of credit that pulls Experian, Capital One is great. Is really wonderful. Now, Capital One wants you to have a relationship with them. You got to have a business bank account with them. They will actually start looking at your file if you have a FICO score 600. Okay, and Capital One is very generous in terms of the amounts they actually they will loan you, and basically they can go all the way to $5 million. So this is really great, and and they want you to have been in business for at least 2 years, and they want you to have a business checking account with them. Okay, so those are the two primary conditions. And as soon as you actually qualify, they will start looking at your financials for real to see how much you could qualify for. And what we love about Capital One is that they have automatic payments. You have a banker access, so you basically have a personal banker or business banker who will actually help you out, and you have flexible lending. So overall, we love the fact that Capital One is very flexible. I mean, and great customer service, by the way. So this is really great. And Capital One is actually can be available nationally, or they can be also geo restricted. It depends on how you set up the account with them, because Capital One can be an online bank as well as a brick and mortar bank. So yeah. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about business lines of credit that pull Experian. Okay, and so this is really great. Now, number 7, we have here TD Bank. Our score, 9/10. So when you think about TD Bank, I want you to think about a bank that's very flexible also, and you can be approved from 25,000 all the way to $500,000. Okay, so you can use the cash for a lot of things. You can use your business lines of credit for a lot of things. By the way, they will actually start looking at your file if you have a FICO score of 600. Okay, and so you can use the cash for a lot of things, for rent, for inventory, for payroll, for daily operations, not a problem. And TD has great customer service also. But again, for us, the only thing is they are geographically limited, so they are around the Northeast. So if you are in their geography, you will love TD's customer service. So they have unsecured line of credit, but they also have a secured line of credit. So you can choose which one you want to work with. And by the way, you can call them at 1-855-278-8988. Number 6, we have PNC. Our score, 9.3 over 10. So when you think about PNC, I want you to think about an unsecured small business line of credit that pulls Experian. You gotta have around 625 in FICO. But the good thing is PNC is really generous in our view, because here you have a line of credit amounts that go between $20,000 and $100,000. This is really great, and you can be approved real fast, and no collateral is required. So this is unsecured. We love that a lot, and we love the fact that the bank is really fast at processing line of credit applications. But just keep in mind that they charge you. So they will charge you an annual fee of $175. So you got to account for that when you actually apply. But if you have any question, you can just call 1-800-762-5684, or you can go to a branch. And to have more information, you cannot apply for this business line of credit online. You have to go to a branch, or you can call. Okay, but so it is really what it is. But it is a fantastic. We love the fact that PNC is very flexible too. So we love the bank. Like, big banks are really flexible for us. This is really fantastic. So PNC, fantastic. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about business lines of credit that pull Experian for a massive amount. So number 5, we have Bank of America. Our score, 9.5 over 10. When you think about Bank of America, you're talking about a very generous lender. Obviously, Bank of America is is available nationally. So here you have line of credit amounts that go from $10,000 all the way to $10 million. Okay, they call it the Business Advantage Credit Line. Now, obviously, you have a larger amount if you have a strong relationship with the bank, of course, and the interest rate starts at around 9.75%. We love that a lot. So it's called, again, Business Advantage Line of Credit. And it's great. Now, if you want to collateralize the line of credit, they have that too. So they call it the Secured Business Line of Credit. Here, line amounts start at $25,000 and they go all the way to $25 million. And the interest rate will actually drop to 9.25%. So the possibilities are there when you really think about it. So it's one thing I want to say is that everything starts with having a relationship with Bank of America if you want to actually have a consequential business line of credit with them. Number 4, you have Wells Fargo. Our score, 9.6 over 10. So when you think about Wells Fargo, you actually have 2 categories of products. You have unsecured business lines of credit, and you have a secured business line of credit. So Wells Fargo wants you to have a FICO score of 625 to 675. That's the minimum. But if you have a larger deposit with them, they will drop the FICO requirements to about 600. Okay. And when we talk about the unsecured line of credit, you are basically getting like $10,000 all the way to $150,000. That's a revolving line of credit. And so this is unsecured, of course, but there are fees that are attached to this line of credit. But for the first year, they waive the fee. They will waive the fee for you, not a problem. And so in addition to the Wells Fargo unsecured, like the unsecured business line of credit, they call it Wells Fargo Business Line of Credit. But they also have another smaller business line of credit that they call Wells Fargo Small Business Advantage Line of Credit. Here, if you have in a business, if you have for the first business line of credit, you got to have a relationship with Wells Fargo for more than 2 years. But if you have a relationship for less than 2 years, they'll still take care of you, but they will actually they will allocate a smaller line with you that goes from $5,000 all the way to $50,000. It's called, again, Wells Fargo Small Business Advantage Line of Credit. So it's important to, like, this really tells you the importance of having a relationship really with Wells Fargo. So this is what we really think about. And one thing I want to say also is that when we talk about Wells Fargo in general, you want to basically make sure that you beef up your deposits with them. This is really cool. And if you want to increase your chances of lending something higher, and but you can use the cash for a lot of things. That's what we love. You can use the cash for a lot of things. Either you can use the cash to supplement cash flow, expanding your business, covering unexpected expenses. Okay, that's really fine. And so Wells Fargo is really flexible. Also, if you need more, they will increase you, but they first want to see the movements within the account. And you also have a Wells Fargo Prime line of credit. So this is secured. So here you have access to like 2 to 10 million, 100,000 to 1 million. But you got to be in business for more than 3 years, and you got to have sales between 2 million and 10 million. So this is where Wells Fargo will work with you. But overall, Wells Fargo, as you know, is a great bank. They will work with you no matter what, and they are available quasi-nationally also. So this is fantastic. Number 3, we have Citi. Our score, 9.7 over 10. So when you think about Citibank and their business lines of credit, you're thinking about a constellation of line of credit options. That's what we love a lot. And Citi can approve you up to 5 million. And Citi wants you to have a FICO score that starts at 600. They pull Experian, of course. And so this is kind of cool. And the thing is that you can finance a wide range of short-term and recurring needs up to 5 million. So we're talking about what? Anything that is that's creating cash flow gaps in your operations, unexpected costs, business opportunities, payroll, inventory, you have it. Okay. And the cool thing is that with Citi is also very flexible here. So you have you're able to be more adaptable. They will create a special account for you. And this is kind of cool. And you can increase working capital. Fantastic. Citi wants you to have, again, FICO score of 600. That's the minimum they want you to have. Of course, you got to have a relationship with them. They always, all the banks that I'm talking about, they value their relationship. We call it here MPR, multi-product relationship. So they want you to have that relationship with them. That's important. So that's the regular line of credit at Citi. Citi has 2 other business lines of credit. You have the business credit account. So this is ideal if your business needs convenient access to cash for short-term needs. So we're talking about here $10,000 all the way to $250,000. That's it is unsecured. And then you have what they call the relationship ready credit, which is like a line amount that goes from 250,000 that goes to 5 million. Now this relationship ready credit can be partially or fully collateralized. Okay, or not at all. You can have it unsecured totally, but it's really about the relationship that you have with Citi. They will look at your accounts with them. They'll look at your liquidity inflows. They'll look at your overall bank account, I would say profile, to make a decision. The only thing is that Citi wants you to have personal guarantees by all owners who collectively own at least 51% of the business. So if you have any question, you can call 1-877-528 0990 or go to a branch. Not a problem. You cannot apply for this online though. You got to go to a branch or call. Number 2, we have American Express. Our score, 9.9 over 10. So American Express actually will check your FICO score. They pull Experian and they start you at 600. And so American Express a couple of years ago was not in this business line of credit space, but they actually bought a company called Cabbage. So during COVID, there were a lot of movements in that space. So American, they saw an opportunity, so they bought a company called Cabbage, and so they rebranded the Cabbage business line of credit into the American Express National Bank business line of credit. So today you have that service, and so American Express wants you to have a FICO score that goes from 600 to 660. At time of application, they pull Experian, and they will approve you all the way to a $250,000. So they'll approve you up all the way to $250,000. They want you to have an average monthly revenue of at least $3,000, and you gotta be in business for at least 1 year. Okay, those are the preliminary, I would say, conditions. But what we love about American Express is that, unlike the other banks that I just listed, you have the opportunity to be pre-approved for this business line of credit. In other words, you can pre-qualify with a soft pull. This is really great, and they're the only one that has that service. For all the other banks, they want you to call or they want you to go to a branch. But American Express obviously doesn't have brick and mortar branches, so that's why they do have, but they don't have as many branches as the other banks. So basically they want you to do everything online. But see, honestly, the application process is very fast. It takes about 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, but you can actually qualify for 6, 12, or 18-month loan term options with a corresponding monthly fee. This is really good. But overall, we're talking about a very flexible bank and a very generous bank. And one thing we have seen also is that you need to have an account, like a relationship with with American Express, either personally or with at the card level, be a card member, because they just need to have some kind of history about you to see how you handle your credit. So as a matter of fact, the good thing is you have the opportunity right now to earn $250 if you actually do business with American Express. So this is just fantastic. Number one, the best of the best, Chase. Our score 10 over 10. So when you think about Chase, you think about a bank that's available nationally, where of course that's very generous. Obviously, you got to have a relationship, a long-standing relationship with Chase. Chase will start looking at your file if you have a 630 in FICO score. And Chase offers several business lines of credit that pull Experian. Okay, so you're talking about, so you basically have several business lines of credit, but those several are actually clustered or categorized into two main business lines of credit. You have the Chase business line of credit for small businesses and mid-sized businesses. And then you have commercial line of credit for, larger businesses as well as, growing mid-sized businesses. So this is really good. So let's first talk about the first one, the Chase business line of credit. This is for small businesses and micro businesses. Here you have a lines of credit that starts at $10,000 and go all the way to $500,000. So you have a 5-year revolving term with potential to renew thereafter. And then you have the 5-year repayment term. So this is kind of cool. So just plain like 10 years if you want to get a business line of credit from Chase, this is a 10-year affair. Think about it that way. And so this is kind of cool. And you also have a commercial line of credit that basically will start approving you from $500,000 all the way to $50 million. Okay, so that's the delta here. And basically the conditions are initial terms from 1 to 2 years with potential to renew thereafter. So Chase is a little more prudent when it comes to the commercial line of credit because we're speaking about consequential amounts here. But hey, listen, if you have the growth, if you have the revenue to actually justify this increased line of credit, then go for it. Okay. But overall, what we want to say is that you can actually use a Chase business line of credit for a constellation of things. And Chase is very flexible in terms of approving the use of loan proceeds or the use of line proceeds. So you can actually use the cash to take care of cash flow gaps, unexpected costs, or to grow your business. Okay. So this line of credit from Chase is ideal for every business side. This is kind of cool. This is really, really good. And overall, what I want to say is that it's just a lot better to apply at a branch. Even though Chase does offer you the opportunity to apply over the phone, we have seen in our experience for the last 28 years, then it's a lot easier. You get a bigger line of credit approval if you do everything at the branch. You talk with a banker first. Okay, this is what it is. Before I actually do a recap here, I just want to quickly talk to you about the approach. I want to share with you the approach we have on this show when it comes to evaluating, categorizing, and listing business lines of credit that pull Experian. Check this out. All right, let's quickly recap here. Number one, we have Chase, 10 over 10. Number two, we have American Express, 9.9 over 10. Number three, we have Citi, 9.7 over 10. Number four, we have Wells Fargo, 9.6 over 10. Number five, we have Bank of America. Our score, 9.5 over 10. Number six, we have PNC, 9.3 over 10. Number seven, last but not the least, we have TD Bank. Our score, 9 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. Really appreciate it. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.